weird now. Because tonight it is showtime. In the middle of the street light. Oh, we celebrate a good time. Because tonight it is showtime. Come and walk with me. 1, 2, 7, 3 down the Rockefeller Street. Life is marching on, do you feel that? 1, 2, 7, 3 down the Rockefeller Street. Everything is more than serene.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. I am your host, Ariana. Takibi, how have you been?
Pretty good this week. Most notable thing was tea time with Lucille.
That's good. So, ready to dive into this?
Ready as I ever will be.
Now, as a disclaimer, the text I could find is explicitly not from an unbiased source.
Right, it's from, the god of the area.
No, this is about the god from the area, but written by an order-funded scholar.
Oh, even worse.
Yes, but he seems rather moderate, so there is that small relief.
Well, that's good.
Anyways, here is the entry. The Reptile King is both the creator and patron deity of the Reptile Kingdom. He is both extremely old and extremely powerful. So much so that though he claims to be something completely unrelated to the gods, he is functionally a deity from the perspective of mortal beings. Okay, interesting.
Certainly an interesting start.
Anyways, by his nature he is chaotic and capable of unprecedented violence, seemingly for no provocation beyond the fact that the existence of his target is inconvenient to him, and by his sheer age and power, he is very, very bored. Because of this, he is prone to causing mischief and antagonizing the powers that be, seeking to incite new and amusing reactions.
Seems like my kind of guy.
Oh?
Yeah, a man with power who doesn't let anyone tell him what to do.
Well, less man and more lizard, but we'll get to that in a moment. He is known to fearlessly taunt the gods and highest-ranking demons alike, both in word and in various over-the-top and ridiculous pranks. The gods tolerate this for fear of engaging in open combat with him. This has brought up some debate as to just how powerful this being is. Some claim that he is much weaker than the gods, that it is only his insanity and the extreme acts of violence that keep the gods unwilling to put a stop to his actions, akin how some animals will force far larger predators into leaving them be by being overwhelmingly aggressive. Other scholars theorize that he is actually far stronger than any of the gods, and the only reason he doesn't rule the world is because doing so would be boring.
Okay. Wow.
Any thoughts beyond that?
I think wow sums it up.
Fair enough, I'll continue. Regardless of the truth, his level of power and experience leave him with an array of diverse and powerful abilities that leave him functionally omnipotent from a mortal perspective. This fact, however, is often ignored by the more zealous groups, who tend to view him as far weaker than their patrons, and often attempt attacks on the Reptile Kingdom in their own particular ways. The Order, Sabbath, and Radical faction being the most egregious offenders on this regard.
Huh. Okay, then.
His origins, or what he claims to be his origins, shed little light on the mysteries surrounding him. He can be both incredibly vague and uncomfortably detailed, acting in paranoid secrecy and being incredibly open with the various details of his past. There are some common statements he has made. For instance, he claims to be well over 300 million years old, having been born long before the gods existed, during a time when insects and salamanders ruled the earth, stating that when he was born he was a tiny and insignificant creature, not unlike a common lizard, and over time ridiculous spans of years he claims to have lived, he has grown into the deity we know today. He says that he has ruled over the world, in fact having the longest lasting ownership of the planet in history, before a cataclysmic event that even he could not stop destroyed his empire, forcing him to fade into the background and watch life move on without him for quite some time.
A lot of exposition in this lesson.
Oh yeah.
Need a water break?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright.
This story is commonly considered to be a bold-faced lie by most scholars outside of the Reptile Kingdom, as it implies the world is far older than any scholar has calculated and was not created by the gods at all. Thoughts on that one, Takibi?
What kind of drug trip is this kingdom?
It's a wacky place. There's supposedly even a class of Momono made out of something called fossils that seem to function as a cousin to skeletons.
That's... wow.
Anyways, the fact that the Reptile King himself is known to sow false information as some sort of prank or to set grandiose events into motion lends credit to the idea that he is in fact lying. However, the similarities between his supposed origin story and the formation of many of the yokai Momono in Zipangu has left more than a few in the Order priesthood worried about what the true potential of these eastern monsters could be.
Oh, that's all well and good. More scared Order members is always a good thing.
You and I can agree on that one. Oh, here's another bit. The fact that he claims to not be the only creature to have achieved his degree of power and states that he is part of an order of similar entities that he refers to as the Great Beast Kings is all the more terrifying.
Oh lordy, what's gonna be the next one to pop up?
I don't know. What is known is that all interactions between him and a god or similarly powerful demon, both before and after the rise of the current demon lord, have often shown him to be much older than them, as he often refers to them as squabbling kids, and many of them call him Old Lizard. The fact that he has added more than a few anecdotes of a god's earlier years to the archives of scholarly writing adds to this, often by retelling an embarrassing tale of the god's youth that the god reacts to as if it were true.
Alright.
Oh, this is interesting. Like many tricksters, he is a known shapeshifter, and rarely seen in his truest form. In the modern era of the current Demon Lord, he appears in a more human form. This one often being a tall and powerfully built man with black hair and glowing red eyes. Often this form is used as his primary means of interaction with mortals out of convenience. He has also shown a preference for the following forms: a seemingly harmless if perverted old man, a small and insignificant-looking lizard, and a animate mass of dust and fossilized bone. However, it is assumed he could take any form he desires.
So the glowing red eyes is a trend?
Probably just a personal fashion choice because it looks intimidating.
I thought mine were special.
Well, he's a pseudo-deity, and aside from him, you're the only other example I've seen.
Huh. Well then.
Moving along. He is also known to take an unusual amount of interest in a mortal or group of mortals, claiming that, quote, the winds of fate are particularly turbulent around them, unquote. This statement can have some truth to it, as those who draw his attention often lead a life of adventure in some fashion. Contrary to what one would expect from his chaotic and violent ways, his interest is more often a blessing than a curse. On a personal level, he tends to be almost friendly. He will incite chaos for his own amusement, however, often this chaos will be more harmless and even beneficial to the ones who have drawn his attention. He shows a particular soft spot for children, proclaiming that he shall be claiming the title of, quote, best uncle, unquote, and then setting about earning this title in many often grandiose and ridiculous ways. He should have some sense of loyalty and ethics in his interpersonal relationships, even if he is wholly amoral on a grander scale.
Sweet Demon Lord, how much more exposition do we got?
As far as I can see, 3 more paragraphs.
Let's get it done then.
Oh, hello. This is also exposition, but a very interesting chunk. Apparently, there's a type of magic energy only found in the Reptile Kingdom.
Oh?
The Reptile King's own life energy, reptilian energy, is the most common form of energy within the Reptile Kingdom. It permeates the realm, existing in the air, water, soil, and living creatures in small amounts. Similar to the relationship of demonic energy within the Demon Lord, reptilian energy is the life's energy of the Reptile King and is influenced by his nature. In its raw form, it is a flame-like energy colored a burning or bloody red. It noticeably strengthens reptilian creatures and Momono, but also has psychological effects. Just as demonic energy increases their, snuggly tendencies, reptilian energy often increases a Momono's more savage drives. While not decreasing a Momono's intelligence, this often means they will become more direct in their desires, as well as more prone to violence when met with confrontation. While far from universal, many of the Momono within the kingdom are more willing to hurt or even kill their enemies than those outside of the kingdom, even in the cases of species who exist outside the kingdom as well. It should be noted that this has little effect on non-reptilians. Reptilian energy also has a corruptive effect, causing reptilian aspects on those prone to corruption, such as the elves. Ironically, it also produces a resistance to other forms of corruption, likely due to a similar effect as to how it is more difficult to dissolve things in salt water than fresh. This is the chief reason why the land is home to so many monstrous beasts who have resisted the effects of monsterization. To put that in simpler words, his life energy interacts with other humanoids by making them act more on their instincts.
Well, damn.
It's only found in the Reptile Kingdom, and attempts to replicate it elsewhere have only met with failure. Also, this resistance to other corruptions is why the Reptile Kingdom still has actual monsters.
Huh. Weird.
Last one, then we move on to your thoughts.
Oh, beautiful.
His name and the name of the Reptile Kingdom are initially misleading. While his word there is undeniable law, he does not actively rule the kingdom, instead leaving that to the hands of the lords of the kingdom, who are akin to kings in the outside world. Instead, he is more a creator god and a patron of everything within the kingdom apparently being a spirit realm created by his own power as a safe haven and homeland for all scale kind. The kingdom reflects his nature by being an unforgiving and unpredictable land with danger at every corner, but also immense reward for those with the strength and will to persevere. His very essence pervades through the kingdom, much like how demonic energy is infused into everything within a demon realm. He has allowed many other forms of life into his realm, leaving physical borders in the material world as open invitation to all who would enter his realm. But it is a place where reptilian beasts and monsters reign, and he is the greatest of all, ruling supreme. All others should best be ready to earn their keep, or die trying. And that would be it. That is the Reptile King, as much as we know, and a vague overview of his realm.
Thank God. That was the wordiest lecture you've ever given.
Yeah, gods, that scholar was in love with his own writing.
Yeah, here's the tip, buddy. If this ain't your thesis paper, play to your audience.
Wordiness aside, what are your thoughts of the being in question?
Seems like a guy not to fuck with.
For assorted reasons.
And his realm seems a bit hostile.
There are normal Momono there too, apparently.
Well, that's good.
Well, anywho, next week we'll be covering a species near and dear to your heart, Takibi.
Oh?
We will be covering the subspecies of succubi known as the Alp. You seem excited?
We're gonna talk about my Gabriel. I'm so happy.
If you want, you can bring her over for the presentation.
Doing it. Gabriel! Get over here! We need to get you the cutest outfit.
I'll see you next time, Takibi.
With bells on.
Thank you very much for enjoying the video. I hope you liked it just as much as I did when I was watching the raw footage. To thank for today's video, we have the following patrons: Eobard Thawne, Felix the Bard, Raymond, Sheldon Wolf, and the Reptile King. For more content like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, give the video a like, and maybe comment what you'd like us to do next. And if you'd like early access, access to videos that will probably never appear on YouTube, like our coverage of the Sabbath faction, please head over to Patreon, the link to which is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Farewell now!